All right, so that's us live. Um, so after many failed attempts of last week, hopefully this week things go a lot smoother. Um, so let's once again recap what happened the last time we played.
Nothing.
Yeah, the last time we actually played.
Joel and Derek made out.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm sad I missed that. Especially having it recorded for all of eternity. So
It was in the few seconds that it just blipped out.
yeah. All right, so you guys, after having successfully raided the haunted mansion, turned in
I
for
got
the
a
night.
baby mimic.
Yep, Westbrook handed you baby mimic. You guys went back to the inn and did some drinking with Randall and O'Connor, and got into some shenanigans with them. Gottrin helped them find their cart because dude, where's my cart? And then through discussion, you guys theorized that perhaps the cargo they were carrying, unbeknownst to them, was a shipment of the fairy dust drug. And of course, on the next morning, offering to buy the contents of the cart, they agreed, and you did, of course, find out that it was fairy dust. And then you shifted back to your headquarters, the guild, through the bag of transference, and left the cart. Sold the cart to the stables. And then also there was a large kaboom in the midst of the night. And after investigating that, you guys discovered that the mansion itself was missing and a giant crater in its place. Also, during that time, we learned that Fiamma was communing with her god Alpan, and that Clancy was being a mouse and essentially screwing with the townsfolk for a laugh. So we arrive at the next morning, and it's kind of time to head out. Some other things of note from the games of before, that war was declared the day prior between the Minotaur and Dwarven nations. Borders are closed. Luckily, you're already on the Minotaur side of the border as you're missioning yourself towards the Minotaur capital. I think that's pretty much it. Anything else I'm missing there?
Not that I know
We
of.
stumbled upon 10 million magical rubies, and each ruby gives us exactly $1 American.
What?
Yeah, I
$1.
I don't think that happened. So Fiamma did, not Fiamma, Clancy did wind up with a pocket full of stones that have souls entrapped in them.
Indeed.
Westbrook also got some souls in stones, and a couple of you guys picked up some mimics, and stuffed them in various items. Isn't somebody carrying around a rug? Was it Gray?
That would be Clancy.
Clancy's got the rug.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's that as well. Obviously, one of the things of note in the mansions that you had discovered were some magical mirrors that teleported to various places around the continent or possibly off the continent, who knows. Places you recognized were the Tanglewood Forest. I think beyond that, I don't know that you recognize anything specific. Mist did end up in a body of water for a period of time. I think one led to a snow tundra. One led to like a study in a well-furnished room. And I think those are the places you guys explored. You guys did some effery by smashing some of the mirrors, causing a violent reaction, and then using the rug that was seemingly magically mirror-proof to scoop it up and then throw it at a mimic door, turning that into a portal to sort of nowhere. and that was all rather irrelevant because the mansion is now gone. But those are things you did. So, as you're all convening at the entrance, and dude man's name, who I don't remember, I think it's Hugo. Hold on.
Make up a name. We won't know the difference. I'm just kidding. It's recorded. We probably need to know.
I just like to keep using the same names. Hugo, yes. Hugo, the halfling junk trader who you hired to drive your cart for you, is waiting out
Hugo's
there.
a baby back bitch.
Yeah. And I said, Westbrook has met up with most of the rest of the group. So as you guys are gathering at the entrance, Westbrook is inquiring as to how your night went. He says, "So, how was everyone's night?"
Eventful.
Ah, yes. What
Fun.
did you get up to?
I did fairy dust with a bunch of gnomes. Yeah.
There are gnomes about?
No one knows.
How? You're such a kidder, Clancy. Such a kidder. Oh, by the way, here's your half of the soul stones that I found. I believe we agreed that I'd split the ones that I found remaining. And he hands you 3 soul stones.
Okay, sweet.
Yep. He says, "Yes, it was quite the romp. As I understand, the mansion has disappeared. It's a bit of a mystery."
What mansion?
Melody, did you bunk your head?
I was trying to be discreet.
Oh, and he whispers, "Did you cause the mansion to disappear?"
I don't know. So I'm just being on the safe side.
How riveting. How did you do it?
I didn't do anything. I don't know.
Well, you said you weren't sure. I thought that was code.
No, that part's not code.
Ah.
I really don't know.
Well then. So I have a proposal. As we head north towards the dwarven capital, I happen to know of a delightful bread and breakfast that we could stop off at. And I believe that I could garnish us free room and board and possibly some meals at said bed and breakfast. I have an in with the owner. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Breakfast, always.
Sure.
Spectacular! And then he pulls out the map to sort of show you where it's at. So he says, "Yes, let's have a look at the map, and I'll show you where we're headed." And so he draws a circle just there, and says, "Yes, it's directly north of where we are now, and quite close to the Minotaur capital. Once we're there, I might can even make arrangements. We could possibly get into the Minotaur capital with much less pomp and circumstances one might normally have to entertain."
Sure.
Yeah. Fantastic. Then Hugo says, "Guys, I'm glad we're leaving. Everywhere we go, I mean, they just announced a war, and I don't even know what's going on anymore, and I don't even know if I'm going to return back home now. They said the borders are closed. What am I going to do? What about my family?"
Oh, don't worry, we'll get home. It's fine.
He says, "How can you be so sure?"
We've gotten home every other time.
Because I am a wizard. Woo!
You guys a family?
He says, "You're not a wizard. You're a silly singing man."
Yes, really singing man who can
With
beat
wizard powers!
He says, how can you be so flippant with the current state of things?"
I'm gonna look him dead in the eye, and then I'm gonna transform.
Because I don't have a family
Roll for it.
back home.
An 8, so I'll get 1 hold. Not that I care. I turn into a snow rabbit.
Aw.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, he's seen you turn to things now, so it's not like he's like, surprised by this at any point. He's just like, "What good is a bloody rabbit going to do?"
I'm gonna hop onto his lap, and I'm gonna transform back into Clancy and be like, magical things.
He says, oh, God, the things I do for money.
You don't even know the half, brother.
As you guys start heading on your way north, and it'll take several days to reach that point. As you're making your way, Westbrook is talking to Gottrin, and he says, "So, dwarven fellow, Gottrin, is it?"
Yep.
He says, "Do you feel any sort of anxiousness with the current affairs and you being a dwarf?"
Not at all.
He says, "Oh, splendid, splendid." He says, "Normally I think it would be nearly impossible to get you into the capital, but I'm sure I have a way."
I've been down for anything.
Oh, very, very good. Yes. So I hear you say you like the mud wine.
Who doesn't like the mud wine?
You'd be surprised. I feel many a person actually dislikes the mud wine. I feel it's very specific to dwarves. And maybe some halflings. I wonder if it has the height thing to do. Do you suppose being closer to the earth that you enjoy the smell of the earth much more than those of us maybe who are taller?
That makes sense astrologically.
He says, well, you won't find much mud wine on this side of the continent, but, I fancy myself a bit of a chemist. Perhaps we could make some.
Why not?
Do you
Mud
have a
wine is
recipe
always
or
good.
anything?
Yes, you just take dirt and wine and throw it together.
Oh, splendid, splendid. Have you ever had dirt from the northern part of the continent?
Who has it?
He says, oh, well, most people, I imagine. He says, well, I look forward to our adventures in an alchemy of mud.
Sounds delectable.
Yep. And as you're going on the way, Mist Hugo is he's trying to get your attention, trying to talk to you, but like he's trying to do it in like a very like nonchalant way. So he's not like calling you out directly. He's just kind of like doing body movements and stuff that make you feel like he wants you to talk to him.
All right, so I look over and I'm like, quit being so annoying. What do you want?
Yeah. And mind you, he's a halfling.
Okay.
Yep. The dog is farting. Anyways, he says, yeah. Oh well, Mist. I was just wondering, with this journey taking as long as it is, and with the increased danger of everything, perhaps we could renegotiate my fee a modicum.
Mm-hmm. Remind me how much we gave you.
I believe initially it was 3 gold, and then on top of that, I believe I've received another 2 gold in the time that we've been traveling.
5 gold. And how long have we been traveling?
Oh my, it's been over a month now, I believe.
So a month you've made 5 gold.
To be sure, it is quite the sum of money. However, the amount of peril that we are in and that is happening around us seems to be ever increasing, and this is certainly more than we initially had discussed, I suppose.
What peril do you speak of?
Well, the peril of war, you see, and we've been many a dangerous places. We went to the terrorist camp, and there was that business at the temple that collapsed, and that was quite frightening. And the town we were just in had mysterious occurrences, and it's quite the adventure. I'm sure anyone would be thrilled to have such tales to tell, but I'm a simple halfling, you see. And adventure isn't necessarily, I'm a junk trader. I trade junk in a market. Danger is not necessarily the kind of thing that I usually engage in.
So, you want to be paid more, even though you've been paid a king's ransom, basically, because wars broke out, and you're slightly nervous about the things that we're doing.
I'm going to be straight with you, miss. You're a businessman, right?
Sure.
Yes. And if you agreed to a set of terms, and that those terms changed over time in a way that made life more dangerous for you, would you not renegotiate your terms?
Well, that's true, but here's the thing. You should have made those terms clear when contracts were struck. And if we're talking about the war, we have no authority over that. That's just as dangerous to us as it is to you.
I understand. But I have a much lesser means of protecting myself, and I'm at the forefront of the cart driving it. You know, we could be attacked at any moment. There are many people in your group who others might find dangerous or worthy of attacking.
So, put a price on your life, then. How much?
I don't take your meaning.
Well, obviously you're afraid to die, so how much does it cost for you to not be afraid anymore?
Well, I guess maybe an additional 2 gold would make me much less afraid.
How about when we get back to where we first originally came from, I'll give you 5. But if you ask again, I won't give you anything more.
5 gold when we return, and do you have any clue as to when we will be returning?
I guess when the border's open.
Oh my. How about this then? The additional 5 gold I could agree to. Or perhaps we do 4 gold, but when we go into a town, perhaps you could arrange lodging and food for me instead. And instead of 5 gold, the 4 gold, and then maybe I stay in a nice inn and have some nice food instead of arranging my own boardings. Perhaps I could stay in the same inn as you, where I might be safer.
Sure. I'll keep the 5 gold. I'll keep my word. I'll arrange living for you every night.
Why I still want 4 gold at the end. We're just taking the gold off so that you can feed and house me. Yes,
I'll give you 5 when we get back.
Okay. Yeah, I could live with that, I think. Also, we've picked up an additional traveler, the dark elf that we picked up in the terrorist city.
Nope. He says it quieter.
Is he? I mean, is he safe?
I think for the amount I'm paying you, you should just worry about my judgment and be done with it.
Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Well, you're the boss, as they say. So I'll just keep on driving. And he gives a yeah to the donkey and the raptor as they go.
And as we're talking, I'm gonna unwrap a little piece of meat that I've had stored, and I'm gonna snack on it.
He says, "Oh, what's that?"
Quite exotic and delicious as I pop the last of it in my mouth.
It smells good. Is there any left? No?
I bet it does.
Wow.
Does it remind you of home?
No, it smells just wonderful. It must have been prepared by quite the chef.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Says, well then, tally ho and all that.
So just so everyone knows, I'm internally going to eat this guy before we get back home.
So poor Hugo. He's just doing his
I
job.
mean, unless Hugo
Why are
proves
you
himself.
sympathizing with Hugo?
Hugo is a shyster. We've paid him so much fucking money, and he wants more because of bullshit.
Hugo got Melody her in at the Merchants Guild so they could plan their heist.
I don't care.
You
He
know,
should have
Hey,
talked to Melody.
He changed, you know, his
His
thoughts on
contract
me.
terms.
So, well, I mean, he changed his thoughts on me too. So,
I mean, he's like a Ferengi. I mean, you know, he's a merchant through
Well,
and through.
He's about to talk himself on my dinner plate.
I won't be protecting him.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
first dragon we meet, I'm gonna be like, "Oops, he just fell in front of the fire."
So one night as you're you know, stopping for the night to camp, and I assume you guys would prepare a campfire and, you know, all that business, potentially sit around it. So you're sitting around the campfire, and you hear some rustling in the woods, and it seems like it's a bit of a distance away at the moment. Do you investigate that, or do you just let it pass on by?
I'm gonna ask Hugo to go look at it.
He says, "You want me to go look at it?"
Absolutely, man. You gotta earn that gold.
He says,
You didn't think that was free, did you?
He says, "But I'm not. I mean, scouting in combat's not really
Not really scouting. I'm just asking you to go look at the noise that's being made over there.
It's probably a bunny.
Oh, okay. And he gets up and kind of just like starts walking. And
As
he
he walks
kind
away,
of
I transform.
like, roll for it.
Where the hell's my mouse? There it is. Cool. I transform back into a bunny and dart around the bush.
This is
Okay.
fantastic.
Are you going the way he's going, or are you going somewhere else?
Yeah, but like the roundabout's way, so he doesn't see me.
Okay. So as he's walking towards, you know, leaving the camp to go looking where everything's rustling, he kind of looks back longingly at the group, like maybe someone will like come with him or stop him.
And I do the shoo. Go on.
And he says, "Okay." He says, Gray, do you want to come with me?"
Gray, have you ever had a hobbit or whatever the fuck he is?
Halfling.
Halfling?
No.
Yeah, here's your chance, buddy.
Nah, you'll be alright.
He says, "Okay." And so then,
Yell
Westbrook-
if something happens.
Westbrook stands up and he says, "You know what, good chap, I'll accompany you."
What's the fun in that, Westbrook?
Come on, man.
He says, "Oh, clearly he's scared." He says, "Don't worry, I'll make sure that you know, he comes back safely." So the two of them wander off into the woods,
Westbrook,
They're
don't
gone.
drink his blood.
they're gone for a hot minute, suddenly you hear a lot of like rustling and like something's like dashing towards the camp, and Hugo bursts into the little clearing that you're in, and he says, "Run, run! It's a T-Rex!" And suddenly you hear like a giant roar. You hear, and you just like hear stomping and like trees being hit and brushed or whatever.
I'm gonna yell and be like, "Cut it and throw its blood on the fire!"
So you have like a few seconds before this thing sort of just like bursts onto the scene, if it is T-Rex at all. Do you want to do anything in preparation?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I was over there when they found it.
Okay. Well, okay. So roll discern realities. Fancy.
6.
You definitely lost them for a hot minute, and by the time you found Hugo again, he was running by you towards camp, and Westbrook nowhere in sight, So, would you have followed him, or you just waited?
I probably would have headed in the opposite direction if I'm Westbrook.
Okay. All right. So you're then Clancy is currently not around at the moment. So for the rest of you guys, yeah, the T-Rex, it is T-Rex, and it bursts into the clearing, roaring and chasing after Hugo. What do y'all do?
Can we tame it?
I start laughing.
What do I roll to tame it?
It's not like you're not a beast tamer of any kind.
First of all, I have spirit tongue.
Okay.
mean,
Then its
talk to
roars to you just sound like it's saying food.
So can we feed it something?
I mean, it wants Hugo.
Yeah. I trip Hugo.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Hugo's defenseless. You don't have to roll for it. You trip Hugo.
I'm
He
just
falls
like,
on the ground.
guys, he's hungry.
And then starts scrambling and rolls over on his back and starts backing away. And the T-Rex then starts to slow and towers over him and opens
I'm
its
still
jaws
laughing.
and starts to dart down towards Hugo. Does anyone do anything?
Even though
Yes.
I've tripped Hugo, I was gonna say, can I do something?
I throw out my flail and catch him and pull him out of the way.
I'll do something
Okay.
nice.
All right. Roll on your dexterity for that.
I'm not trying to be gentle.
Well, I
This is
mean,
not gentle, Mike. This is
Right.
a strength meal.
yeah, but
We're trying to get out of the way. So we
you're
do a
trying to
little bit of damage
snatch
to
a
him.
person away with like a weapon.
From a T-Rex.
It's still dexterous.
I'm using the flex. What did I do? What's my dice roll? Yeah, well, it didn't even
So
work with my strength.
you don't really grab him as much. You didn't really grab him as much as you just like hit him out of the way. Doing. Can you roll damage on Hugo?
Oh
Oh
god.
man,
Oh
Hugo's dead.
He's not dead, but he goes unconscious for sure. So you hit Hugo, and he gets pushed out of the way of the T-Rex's snap, and he definitely he rolls and he hits a tree and he goes unconscious. And now the T-Rex is focused on you. It turns and looks at you because you're the thing that's moving, and then starts to go for you. What is everybody else doing?
I'm gonna stab it with my rapier.
I guess I'll fucking
Right.
heal Hugo. Well, I'll
Right.
wait until they do.
Roll for your stab and roll for your heal.
Okay, let's see.
Taking that stab.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I heal the shit out of him.
Roll your damage for the stab.
Yeah, I know I've got a thing here. Okay, there it is. D8. Of course, that makes sense. So that is 4 damage because the rapier gets a +1.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you kind of prick its skin, and it sort of whips around and tail lashes you
Sweet.
when that's happening. And from the tail lash, you take 4 damage.
I laugh
and,
as I roll away.
Yeah, it kind of like knocks you to the side. And yeah, then what? So Gray or Fiamma? what are
Wait,
you guys up
when
to?
I pricked it, is it bleeding?
Yeah, there's like a little bit of blood. It's just a tiny drop.
Oh fuck yeah, this is happening.
Tell me when to roll my healing. Because
Yeah.
I already succeeded. Okay.
Yeah.
He heals for 6.
Yeah. So as you're doing that, he kind of like groggily sort of starts waking up.
I'm just gonna apologize to everyone.
Oh god.
Alright.
I'm gonna whip the flames all around its body. Hit that blood with an
Alright.
11.
Cool. So Fiamma starts whipping flames around. Gray, are you doing anything while that's happening?
I'm gonna transform into a werewolf and put my fire ring on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Roll for your transformation, I guess.
Please be Drax right now. Jump inside this bitch and make it explode.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
happened.
So you will fall hard and flame up as the flames are whipping around. So Fiamma, as soon as the flame hits the T-Rex, the spot of blood, it catches fire, and then like the tiny hole just sort of like it just starts spewing, like it's like almost like a mini flamethrower coming off of its body, and it roars and starts thrashing about wildly. So if everyone could roll Defy Danger for me real quick.
On what?
On Dex or Strength or Constitution.
7 on Dex.
Bye.
I guess Constitution, let's say. I defied the shit out of that.
That would be on strength.
Mine is on strength. 9.
So the T-Rex is doing 5 damage. Anyone who rolled 7 to 9s, you'll take 3 damage instead. As it's sort of just like thrashing about its snout, its teeth, its tail. It's just sort of like, it's got sort of fire spitting out the side of it. So it's pretty unhappy about this whole situation. So we're gonna cut away for a second. Clancy, as you're hopping around as a bunny, roll discern realities again for looking for Westbrook.
7.
Yeah, so it takes you a little bit of time, and eventually you do come across him, and he's like picking some like berries off of a tree when you find him.
Alright, I'll de-transform and say, what you doing?
He says, "Oh, Clancy, hello there. Yes, I found the most marvelous berries out here in the forest. Do you see these? These are Gungan berries. They have restorative properties. They're quite rare, actually."
Well, here, let me help you pick them.
Oh, fantastic! Yes. Yes. Hold up your shirt and I'll pour some in.
Okay. I'll hold out my shirt.
Yeah. About that time, you guys hear some commotion off in the distance. Westbrook's like, "Oh, what do you suppose that is? Oh, where's he? Did you see Hugo on your way over here?"
Oh yeah, he was headed back to camp, I think. I got a little
splendid.
lost.
Yes, we were together, but then I got distracted by these berries, and I sort of lost track of him.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I
That
imagine
noise
so.
is probably just a group up to shenanigans.
Yes, they are always up to the shenanigans, aren't they?
Indeed.
But to be fair, you're the king of shenanigans, aren't you?
Oh, you know me too well.
Or maybe you're the queen of shenanigans, who can tell?
Yeah, it depends on the day.
And so you guys continue picking berries. So back at camp, this dinosaur is spitting fire out its side and thrashing around. So Gotran, what are you up to?
Well, so we're going to try to start hamstringing it because it's just sitting there now. So we're going to start our giant tactics and start trying to hamstring it from back.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, roll some damage.
There we go. So it's +2 to pierce.
Okay, so what do we got? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12?
12 with 2 pierce.
Nice.
Yeah, so when you hamstring it, you're going to break its leg and crack it open with lots of blood. As soon as you do, it's the whole thing just sort of starts to catch fire, it's the whole thing is just burning, and it's screaming out in pain, and its thrashing gets even more volatile. Does anyone do anything after that?
I pulled marshmallows out of my adventuring pack and begin to roast them on the screaming dinosaur.
Cool. Anyone else?
How close is everybody?
Pretty close.
Okay, then probably not. It's like a fireball.
So do you sort of retreat?
Let me give me a second.
All right. While she's doing that, I'm gonna go pick up our old cart guy and be like, "Hey, way to earn that gold, buddy."
Cool. I mean, so yeah, okay.
You said he was waking up and a little groggy, right?
Yeah. He's like, what's happening?
Oh, you fought a T-Rex, man. Look at it. And I pointed
like,
at it,
I
freaking flopping on the
did?
ground.
And
Yeah, you
Gray,
did. Good job.
Oh wait,
Gray,
I should have. Never mind. I should have had another D8 that I healed him for. Oh well.
Gray, what are you doing?
I'm gonna step away from it right now while it's thrashing around.
You're gonna take about how many feet are you stepping back?
Really far.
Cool. Everyone but Gray roll defy danger on your decks, I suppose.
I thought I stepped away to help the cart guy. Is he that close?
Yeah, he's still fairly close.
Oh, he's gonna fucking die then.
Okay.
Not me,
so
though. Sleep.
Fine. All right. Hey, that's pretty good. I guess while I was trying to decide, I backed away because I got an 11.
Cool. The T-Rex explodes for 17 damage. If you roll to 7 to 9, then you'll take half that at 9 damage.
That'd be fire damage, right?
It's fire damage, right?
Fire damage, yeah.
Cool. I'm immune
Let's see, I negate some of
for
that.
9 at least.
Shit didn't happen to me.
So yeah, the T-Rex explodes, body parts, and what is basically like flaming blood napalm lands everywhere. The forest catches on fire.
Why does this always happen?
Job well done,
It's,
guys. Job well done.
It's a pretty. And Mist, what was your roll on that? 8.
Yeah.
Hugo also gets like pretty badly burned.
Come on, man. What if I was standing in front of him?
Do you
I'll
want to
take it
pause?
for
You were
the
standing in front of him. You want to take his?
Yeah,
his
I was
damage
standing in
too?
front of him, picked him up, sure.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't
then
be taking his damage too. He would just not be taking damage because I'm in front of him.
Okay.
How would it double damage me standing
alright.
in front of him? It's the same wave. Come on, man.
Anyways, yeah, explodes and the forest is on fire. So, hold on. Meanwhile, back in the forest where the berries are being picked, Westbrook and Fiamma or Clancy, you guys hear an explosion and then suddenly see like the forest being on fire. And Westbrook says, "Oh my, do you suppose that's a problem?"
Well, it was a problem last time that we set a forest on fire.
I think it'll be fine.
He says,
That fire chick can control fire, so.
You think there's going to be a second skeleton that hates me? Because that just feels familiar.
He says, I suppose maybe we should start heading back. We've almost picked this bush clean."
Let's finish out the bush. And then we'll head back.
Okay then. So you guys keep picking the bush. Meanwhile, back in the camp where everything's on fire and people have been sprayed with fiery blood. Gotrin, if you didn't know that T-Rex blood was exceptionally flammable, you know now.
And we're like, oh yeah, so that's a thing.
So
As Yellow Bird, it's like, yeah, that's a thing.
yeah, so Gotrin, what are you doing, having witnessed this spectacle?
I'm stop, dropping, and rolling, baby.
Oh, you're fine. Fiamma's going to Zuko style.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. So Gotrin's rolling on the ground, and then Fiamma, what are you doing?
Zuko style. With a 7. I'll control it temporarily and just push it all towards the center. Off
Okay.
of people.
And off of
So
the
yeah,
forest,
you
hopefully.
pull all the fire off, and you're putting it where your
The campfire is.
And yeah, okay. But so now your campfire is just like a towering
Like a
inferno.
bonfire, yeah.
A rager for sure. Times 1,000.
The beacon of Gondor is lit.
Yeah.
Candle magic's a hell of a drug.
It's something you wouldn't want to stand within even 10 feet of.
Yeah, I'm gonna pat myself off because I'm smoldering still and be like, damn, that's the most damage I've taken in a while.
Yeah.
Flex Seal will fix that.
That's what.
And then I look at our guy and I'm like, way to start a party, buddy.
He says, I've only ever heard of T-Rexes. I honestly didn't think they were real.
Yeah, fun fact, they're extremely flammable.
I knew they only existed on this side of the continent, and like I said, I didn't think they were real. And are they all flammable like that?
Yes, they are.
The
And I'm
blood
gonna
is.
reach into my backpack and I'm gonna give him a pamphlet made of T-Rex leather because I still have
Sick.
shitloads of those.
We have so many. It's just an unlimited supply.
He says the god Kratos is that a real god?
Yeah, I don't know, but the pamphlet's made of genuine T-Rex leather, so consider this your first adventure, bud.
He says, "Wow, that's spectacular. No one will believe me." So Clancy, you and Westbrook have picked all the berries, and you're arriving back at camp. And so Westbrook's like, "Oh my, the fire's gotten quite large. I don't know that we need one this big, guys."
Oh my god.
If Fiamma's gonna roll her eyes and try to Zuko style again.
Okay.
6.
Oh.
What were you trying to do?
We're all about to start on fire again.
Huh?
I was gonna try and dim it, like make the
Okay.
fire less hot.
You make it insanely worse. Yeah.
That sounds like my work.
In fact, everyone roll Defy Danger
Again? On what?
on your decks.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, baby. Natural 12. Natty.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh yeah, fuck that fire. Bye.
No.
Fiamma rolled a 6. Clancy rolled an 11.
Yeah. So Fiamma accidentally turns it black.
Oh great, soul fire. I'm glad I wasn't
yeah.
I got a 6.
Yeah. And so we're
Yeah,
gonna
you
roll
get
some
burned.
damage on
there. Your
this.
soul's gonna suck. That's gonna hurt.
And so that's 9 damage ignoring armor for anyone on the minus side, and if anyone got us the 7 to 9, then you'll take 5 damage as the fire gets worse and black. Let me roll for Westbrook. He should have a stake in this game too, I suppose. Seven. So yeah, Westbrook takes a little bit of damage. So as the fire burns Westbrook, he looks unfazed, and he says, "Oh my, that tickles a little bit. Fiamma, my dear Fiamma,
Yes?
could you perhaps not do that?"
Hold on, let me try to fix it again.
Oh no.
Everyone, just back up.
No, just I think it's okay the way it is. We'll just leave it for now. I don't know that we can sustain, or if you want to, maybe the rest of us should back up some.
Very,
Yeah,
very
sure.
much so, yes.
I'm
Let
gonna
me
assume
also-
that I've already backed quite a bit up.
Let me also roll for Hugo as well. Wow, good on Hugo. Yeah, Hugo like ducks and covers and misses him. How about that?
Nice.
Good for him. I expected way worse because he has a -1 to death.
I'm sad. Yeah, I was thinking I was gonna eat.
Roasted.
So does everyone step back?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Gotron and Gray.
Yeah.
I rolled a 12, so I just put it back down to bonfire size.
Okay, yeah. And so after that, Westbrook's like, yes, that's much better. You should do that every time, Fiamma.
Yeah, it gets away from me sometimes.
He says, "That's well, with great power comes great destruction, right?"
Indeed.
He says, "So the black flames. How do you do that?"
Oh, I just wave my hands. What happens?
He says, "Would you mind if I took a sample of your blood?"
Yes.
Yes, you would mind.
Yes, I would mind.
Would there be any price that I could pay that will allow you to take me your blood?
Let's talk about this later. I need to talk with
Fantastic.
someone about this first.
Yes, okay. Well, I await that riveting conversation, and perhaps we could come to some arrangement. Then he sort of he says, he turns right to Clancy. He says, Clancy, these berries. So we agree to a 50-50 split then?
Well, you're the one that found the bush. I'll take 40.
He says, wow, well, I'm more than happy to split it 50-50.
As agreeable as that is, our business ventures seem to be going swimmingly, so I'd like to keep a amicable relationship. I'll take the lesser half.
Well, okay then. And he hands you, so what is like the, it's, we'll say like 120 berries. And he sort of tells you the market value of like your half of the berries is about 7 gold.
Excellent.
And he puts his own. So he takes the berries everyone roll a sort of a discern realities.
Okay.
Clancy rolls an 8.
Doctrine rolls an 8.
Hey, I didn't get a 2 off.
PM rolls a 7.
Wow.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, you don't notice anything. So for you 7 and 9s, it definitely like dumps all of the berries into a bag. It's sort of like a little satchel on his side, the berries like shouldn't all fit in there. So there is some inkling that what he has on his side is a bag of holding, and you're not sure if you've seen that bag before or not. This is your first time noticing it, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then after that,
nice sack.
Do you say that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he says, "Oh, you like my bag? Yes, it's quite nice. It holds lots of things. It's quite handy for traveling."
Is it magic?
He says, "Well, yes, indeed it is actually."
Neat.
He says, "It's some call it a bag of holding, I suppose. It's not. I don't know why that's necessarily the case. There is a
bag of holding.
I would assume you'd call your hand a hand of holding too, but that's not my business." He says,
I walk up and gently put my hand in his hand.
It's a hand of holding now.
he says, "My, your hands are quite rough. That must be unfortunate for you."
Oh.
Rub some dirt on it.
I imagine that the toughness provides grip.
Yes, I'm sure it does. Gripping things like pickaxes and shovels and the like.
Yes.
Tools for digging
Several
in the earth.
shaft-like objects.
Exactly.
Yes. I'm sure you wield mighty poles with great ease.
It's Clancy laughing.
He says, but yes, the bags like this are often sold in many magical cities. Like the one, if you were to have toured the magic shop in the town we were in earlier, whose name I've forgotten because the DM can't tell me. It's like we're looking at a map right now. Oh god. Why do things not work? What was the name of that town? Lysonace was the town. Anyway. Yes, you can buy bags like this. They're usually quite expensive. And some shop owners won't even accept money for them. They require acts of service, great quests.
We're a
you see.
goblin eye.
Fiamma perks up at acts of service.
He says, "Oh, Fiamma, do you like performing acts of service?"
When the need calls.
He says, "Splendid. If I ever need an act of service, I will certainly call on you."
Please do.
What kind of service is that, Fiamma?
You know exactly what kind of service Mr. McCoy.
I would expect adventuring.
Well, I can be adventuresome.
I would expect lip service.
For the right price.
He says, "Really? I have never considered Fiamma quite the conversationalist, but perhaps I just don't know Fiamma well enough."
My mouth does many things.
He says, "Indubitably." And he raises one eyebrow. Anyways, the night. Also, Hugo's like, "Not dead yet." And he says, "You know, guys, I'm
kind of crispy.
I was
not
about to say,
feeling."
didn't I heal him for something?
You did, and he's not dead. He's conscious again. And he's like, "You know, guys, I think I'm gonna turn in for the night. It's been a lot.
Since
do you
I
mind
forgot
if
my
just-
third. Since I forgot the
because-
third D8, do I? No, never
No,
mind.
you forgot it. Yeah, you
I
were
know.
just like, yeah, here's like a heal, whatever. And so he's like, do you guys mind if I sleep in the cart? It's feeling not super safe out in the woods right now for me. And I'm a little traumatized, if I'm being honest."
I look to the left. I'm like, do you hear that? Sounds like something's in the woods.
He says, "Yeah, I'm just gonna."
Hugo, you
Cart.
want to go check that out real quick?
He says, No, I don't." And he like walks towards the cart. So, yeah, if you guys have no more conversation or dealings, then the night will
Can I-
conclude.
I would like to heal myself. Well, if we're,
We're
going
gonna go to sleep. We'll
that
heal.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you fall asleep, and the night goes on, and you continue with your travels, and then it's still just another few days before you reach the sort of bed and breakfast that Westbrook had promised, and it's fairly uneventful. There's a couple of travelers on the road, but it seems pretty sparse. Seems like people aren't doing a lot of traveling, given probably the situation. As you're getting close to where the bed and breakfast is, as you're traveling down the road, coming down the road also is it looks like a handful of, I don't know how to say this, but like war carts. So there's
War
lots of
carts?
soldiers. Yeah,
Sexy.
lots of soldiers.
Oh, okay.
And the carts seem to be armored, and there's a lot of horses and stuff. And they're just like marching down the road. Are you guys in the cart or are you out of the cart? Or I guess who's in and out of the cart when you're walking down?
I'm
the road?
not in the cart. I'm walking.
I'm typically in the cart.
Betsy's gonna transform Nice Nine into a moose and walk beside the cart.
Okay. And what about Gray and Gotrin?
We'll walk beside the cart too.
I'm walking.
Yeah, Westbrook is definitely inside the cart, so yeah, you're walking, and as the battalion's getting closer, as soon as they like see you guys, they stop, and are standing still as you're approaching. Do you just continue to sort of walk by as normal?
Yep, I pay no attention.
Walking by.
So as you reach the sort of the line of soldiers and stuff, and you're passing by, you pass by several soldiers, and then there's a moment where like a few of them step out in front of you,
And
I
I
say
side
halt.
skirt them.
Well, I mean, they're standing in front of the cart, so Hugo basically has to stop the cart,
I keep walking.
and they say halt. And if you keep walking, they say, "Sir, we said halt."
Fine, I'll stop, but I'm not saying anything.
And
What do you want?
they point towards Gotron, and they're like, "That dwarf with you. What's his purpose?"
To live long and prosper.
He says, "Do you have travel papers to be on this side of the border?"
I reach down and pull out some papers that have been stuck to my ass, so they smell horrible, and hand it to him.
And he, you know what? Roll charisma.
Oh God.
He does open them. He holds them as far away from his face as he can, and he opens them. And he says, "So what's on those papers?"
I don't know. You can read, can't you? They're my traveling papers.
He says, "This is just like a receipt for an inn," and he drops it on the ground. He says, "Disgusting." He says, "You know there's a war going on right now, right?"
Yep. I say, you know, there's nothing else going on too.
He says,
I pick him back up, and I start handing them to him again and keep walking towards him. I say, you gotta let me in. These are good papers. Who are
He
you
says,
paid to judge to be bad papers? Who you won't even read them?
he says, "Where does your allegiance lie?"
With myself.
So he's sort of surveying the rest of the group too, he's like, "What's in the cart?"
Things that would be in a cart.
He says, "Don't get smart with me."
I'm not smart.
Fiamma's gonna peek out from the cart and say, "A naked woman."
He says, "Can we inspect your cart?"
If you want to see me naked, that's 5 gold.
He says, "Man, we're not trying to see you naked. We just want to inspect the goods of the cart."
Well, I apologize, but I'm in here naked, so if you're gonna have to see it anyways, it's 5 gold.
He's like, "God, I don't have time for this bullshit." He says, "Look, because I don't want to deal with this right now, we never saw you, but you keep your dwarf in check and stay away from major cities."
But minor cities are okay.
He says, "I'm just telling you, with the war on, that dwarf's going to cause you problems."
Cool.
I'm gonna just keep walking now.
He's like, "Sir, sir, sir, sir."
Nope.
And he's like, "God damn it."
As the cart's rolling by, Fiamma's gonna poke her head out again and be like, "We're invisible."
So Smitty looking at this guy who seems to be in charge. Like, "What do we do?" And he's like, "Look, we got somewhere to be, and I don't want to get into a scuffle with a bunch of just vagabonds traveling down the road. Let's just head on." And so the caravan starts marching back down the road again, leaving you guys behind.
As Moose Clancy walks by him, he farts.
Roll. It's a hard one.
Strength.
Roll fart.
Yeah, roll with a +1 for fart.
Okay.
From now on, your farts have +1.
12.
Yeah, it's the rankest, most awful fart he's ever smelled. He gets
throws up on the ground.
He wobbles a little bit as he walks for a second later. It's so bad.
Moose snicker sounds. I don't know.
He's like, as he walks off, you can just hear just within range of earshot. He's like, "I think their moose did that on purpose." And the other guy's like, "Why would a moose fart on purpose?" And he's like, "I don't know, but it just seems intentional." And so they carry on. And so a day later, you arrive at the place that Westbrook marked on the map, and I find it somewhere. Here we go. So you arrive here at this town. You're arriving, well, not even town. Like I said, it's like a a singular occupancy type thing. So you arrive here, and Westbrook says, "Oh, fantastic! We've arrived!" As you're going across the bridge towards the entrance, there's a gnome standing out front, and there's a sign across the top of the building that says West End. And as you're walking up, do you say anything, or are you just walking up?
Nope, I just walk up.
Anyone else?
Is there anybody outside to say anything to? Like, what's going on?
Oh, there's the gnome who's like right at the entrance as you're like pulling across the bridge.
Well, as a moose, I'm gonna walk on my hind legs.
You've been a moose for like a day and a half now.
Yeah, just moosing
Okay.
around.
Yeah. So as they get close, the gnomes seeing Westbrook says, "Ah, Master Westbrook, you've returned at long last." And Westbrook says, "Ah, yes. Thank you, Joseph. It's good to be back." He says, "How are things?" And he says, "Oh, that's splendid. Yes. We've acquired the guest you've requested, and everyone else is doing well." And Westbrook says, "Oh, thank you so much. Yes, these are my guests for the time being. They're my travel companions, and show them the utmost respect, if you would." And the gnome says, "Oh, yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Joseph."
I nod and I greet.
He says, "I'm the groundskeeper." And he seems unfazed by the whole moose on pine legs thing. He
I'm
says,
gonna step
"Well,
closer to him.
He says, welcome to West End, everyone." And he sort of like gestures, for you to like enter. And, so you do.
I'm
Right?
gonna
Everyone enters.
gently take his head in my mouth.
He says, "Oh, this is quite peculiar. But if you're a guest of Westbrook's, then whatever you need to do."
All right. I'll remove my head and then transform back into Clancy and be like, "You're no fun."
He says, "Oh, wow. Yes, well, you're not as pretty as a moose, but you'll do, I guess."
Westbrook,
This
can I
guy-
kill him?
This guy into animals?
And Westbrook says, "Oh, please don't kill him. He's such an excellent groundskeeper. If you kill him, it would be an inconvenience for the establishment."
I'm seeing a thing.
Yeah. So roll discern realities, I guess.
Looks a little familiar there.
So roll discern realities.
Okay, alright. Let's see. Yeah. Please say I see something. Yeah, I see something.
Yeah, you definitely notice like a dragon statue on top of one of the buildings.
I would notice.
Yeah. So do you say anything about it?
Yeah, I'm like, that's a neat looking statue there. What's going on with that?
Westbrook says, "Oh, you like that? Well, I've always been fascinated with dragons. You see,
Oh.
if you haven't figured it out by now, actually, I'm gonna change music. If you haven't figured out by now, this is my little establishment. I happen to own this place,
Mm.
and yes, it's a place that I sometimes call home."
The music.
Have you
Is,
seen the dragon before?
He says, "Why, yes, I have. If you remember, there was a time in the town of Macrotir, and there was an attack on the town, and there was this dragon that flew overhead carrying a cyclops. Miss Jill, you'll recall, you were part of the distraction. You were going in to rob some building or some such."
I can't get over this music, man.
I know.
Yeah, I remember. Jesus, man.
He says, I think we all saw a dragon that day.
True, I forgot you were there.
He says, but even before that, I've been quite fascinated with dragons. They're, some say that they were the original inhabitants of this place before all of the humans and gods arrived and all of that.
What would you do if you saw a dragon up close?
He says, I would take so many notes and ask as many questions as possible and hopefully not die.
I'm gonna step towards a clearing.
Well, I mean, you're inside the building. It's all like gravel and fencing.
Wherever there's not like a building within 10 feet of me.
Okay. Sure.
Alright. I'm gonna be like, hey, Westbrook!
He says, yes,
Watch
Clancy?
I'm gonna transform. With a 10 into a dragon.
He says, oh, how marvelous. That must mean that you've had close and extensive contact with the dragon.
I'm gonna lean my head to him and touch him to cast the spell.
Okay, roll for it.
13. Telepathy. I'm gonna be like, yeah, well, being a master of disguise such as myself, I can sit around and look at dragons if they're around.
He says, but that means dragons must be around.
Well,
You must
clearly
tell.
You saw one. We were in the same place seeing one.
Yes, but seeing one is much different than spending time with one.
No, it's only gotta be about an hour.
He says, so tell me, were you around the dragon that we saw that day?
For a while.
Yes, and what was her name?
I don't remember. Tony, maybe?
Says, well,
I'm not very good with women's names. Don't tell anyone this, but I'm a misogynist.
you
He
like
massages
to
me all the time.
you like to tend to people's muscles and make them relax. Then
Oh my god. He's so dumb. I thought he was smart.
Yes.
he says, splendid. Yes, I hope you misogynist me someday.
Can do, buddy. Can do.
Well, none of you are hearing this. It's all telepathy, right? So this is clearly between just Clancy and Westbrook, right?
Now, what you don't know is Miss is an excellent misogynist. You should ask him for one sometime.
He says, oh, I'm afraid he might use some acupuncture if I ask him.
That's part of it. It's very good, very healing.
As well. I've seen him stun people before. I don't think that's something I would enjoy.
Speaking of healing, I want to go swim in the little lily pad place.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go jump in, that's your prerogative.
Yep.
Do you ask permission? Or you just go do it?
Huh?
Do you ask permission or you just go do it?
Why would I ask permission?
It's somebody else's property. I don't know.
Has that ever stopped us before?
So while you're out there, and so as soon as the dragon comes out and you're standing there doing stuff, also a maid emerges from sort of this front building, and it's a tabaxi, a cat person, and she's like calico in color, and she walks out. She's like, "Oh heavens, a dragon! You've done it, Master Westbrook. You've tamed a dragon." And Westbrook says, "No, Melina, it's not an actual dragon. It's a bit of magic, I'm afraid." She says, "Oh, well, that's terribly sad. Who are your friends?" And he sort of introduces all of you. He's like, "Oh, the dragon is Clancy. He's quite the marvelous entertainer.
I'll
as you can tell,
transform and take a deep bow.
as you can tell from look, there he is. He's got the giant bobblehead. It's sort of his signature thing. And this lovely creature is Melody. She plays the most fanciful tunes. She's also a bit of a nightmare at times, if you catch my drift. And this here is Mist, my boy. He's excellent at procuring things that people need, I understand, and he's quite dark and mysterious. And he does with air
I
quotes.
wink at her.
And he says, this big one here, this is Gray. He's so big and strong, he can do anything. And, well, he's quite the fiendish animal, actually. And the little one, that's Gotran. He loves the dirt wine. Actually, I think he might enjoy the company of our recent guest that I believe has been procured. Beyond that, we've got Fiamma here. She's just an angel. Quite the charmer. And she does wonderful things with fire. And so the maid curtsies and says, well, I'm Melina. I am the maid here at this establishment, and I'll do my best to take care of you. It's great meeting you all.
What about Hugo?
Yeah, he doesn't say anything about Hugo at all.
Oh, wow. I'm just soft playing in the river.
And Hugo's back there and he's just muttering. He's like, nobody introduced my ass and stupid elves and bullshit.
At least you weren't called a nightmare.
Yep. So do any of you greet Melina?
Yeah, I said I wink at her.
I wave because I'm way off in the distance, but I still
Clancy
hear
gave a bow. Fiamma
Right.
gave a head nod.
Gray and Gotran?
Yeah.
Gray ignores her entirely. Gray's looking off in the distance. Got it.
That makes sense.
And she says, I'll be retiring back here to the bed and breakfast. Once you get settled, let me know, and if I can bring you anything or provide you with anything, I'll do my best to do so. And she starts heading back in. So Westbrook says, yes, well, it's been a while since I've been back. I've got a couple of things to attend to, so I'll have my man Prinny show you around. And he claps, and this sort of like a blue penguin with a satchel at its side comes waddling up, and he's like, "Dude, what's up?" And Westbrook's like, "Yes, Prinny, could you do us a favor and show my guests around?" And the penguin he's like, "Sure thing, dude. I can do it." He says,
Talking
"Well then."
penguins, okay.
He's like, I will see you all later, probably around dinner time. Make yourselves at home. Mikasa es Mikasa, and you can stay here. And he starts walking off. So the penguin says, all right, my name's Prinny. What's your names?
Is he the Ice King's assistant from Adventure Time?
No,
I was
he's,
thinking that as well.
Okay, good.
It's a Disgaea reference.
Oh, okay.
No one introduces himself. He's like, cool, cool.
Well, no. I guess I'm getting out of the river, like, and drying off, like, wringing out my dress and be like, hey, Melody.
He's like, oh, cool, dude. I'm gonna call you dude. Is that all right?
You're gonna do it anyway, so sure, why not?
Cool. Awesome, dude. He says, all right, well, I'm gonna call the rest of you dude then. All right, dude, come on. I'll show you around.
Call me bro.
Okay, dude. So he starts leading you sort of this way, and he points out and he says, that's the watchtower. Yeah. Sometimes Kenku is up there. Ka. Sometimes Ka's up there. He's a Kenku. He's like a bird man, like a cool bird. And he kind of like, stays up there and looks out and makes sure everything's all right. Everything's always all right though. We don't have problems here. And then he keeps walking. And he says, "That's the mill over there. That's so we harvest our own grains here, and then we mill them into things like flour and whatnot. And so that's pretty cool. And mostly Joseph takes care of that stuff. You know, he's a pretty cool dude. And he points over here at this other building, and he's like, yeah, and that's the grain house. That's where we store all the grains and all the other products that we manufacture here, and that's where everything stays. Yeah. And then he points over the field, and he's like, that's the field. That's where we grow our crops. You know, it's a self-sustained facility here. Everything here is grown here, raised here, and that's pretty nice. Yeah, I like it. And he so as he's walking back around, he's like, and that's the bed and breakfast. That's where you'll be staying. Then we have a full-service bar there too. And I'm a bartender, pretty good if I do say so myself. You guys like to drink?
Sure.
Not typically,
Always.
but I'm getting more comfortable with it.
Bring it on.
He says, cool. We'll do that later then. All right. And he starts out walking you around. And he walks over here to this area. And he says, yeah, here's the stables, man. This is where we keep some of the livestock and the horses and stuff. And we keep all kinds of stuff around here. You know, once again, self-sustained. It's all organic and grass-fed and all that stuff. It's real good. And then over there, and he points over there, and he says, yeah, we got our own little forge, you know. Sometimes we can make our own horseshoe things, and we make our own nails and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty neat. We don't currently have a blacksmith. One we had quit, so we're currently in the market for a new one. Well, times are hard sometimes. You know, it's not a lot of workers. The doors make the best blacksmiths, but with the ensuing war and all, it's gonna be hard to find one, I guess. But I guess we can find someone else. Find a salamander or something. But our problems aren't your problems. Sorry to burden you with that. And he points over to this building, and he says, "That's the workshop. That's where old Westbrook does all of his experimentations. He loves doing experiments and stuff. Loves doing all the gadget goos, and he likes to pour things together and make stuff smoke and bubble and fizz and change colors. It's pretty neat. And over there we got that's the master's house. That's where Westbrook stays when he's here. Pretty much no one really uses that. He's here and there every now and then, but not that often. But he keeps paying us, and we live a pretty good life. And every now and then we get some travelers, and they stay here. And that's pretty much the tour. You guys got any questions?
Yeah, can I just pee anywhere or?
If you gotta go to the bathroom, he says, why don't you come over here to the bed and breakfast? There's a bathroom in there, and then there's also the kitchen and servants' quarters and stuff too. So he sort of starts.
I can pee in the kitchen. Sweet.
I lead back this way, and he leads you sort of into this, and so you walk through. There's an open outdoor sort of dining area, and it leads to the inside. There's a pretty massive tavern that's fairly empty. A couple people in there, and he sort of gestures to where the restrooms are.
Cool. I don't have to go now. I just need to know for the future.
So when you guys walk in, you hear a voice say, "Goes, hey, I know some of you."
Oh
and
God!
you look over, and there's this orc, and he's like, "Yeah. I think I sold you guys some stuff." And he points to Melody and Mist. He's like,
God.
Yeah. It's me. I'm Jasper, the orc
Oh
merchant.
yeah.
He says, yeah, there was this tournament, and you guys came into the underground market, and
How'd that
Yeah,
goblin eye work out for you?
he says, oh yeah, I know, it was pretty good. Wait, did you give me a goblin eye, or?
Yep.
Yeah, I was you. Wow.
You didn't think I was gonna come back.
Yeah, I sold that. I sold that to Who'd I sell that to? Oh, it was a centaur. I sold that to a centaur. Yeah. And he paid top dollar for it. It's good stuff.
Nice. I'm glad it worked out for you.
He says, so what you guys doing here? Yeah, you guessed the West books or something?
Yep.
Chilling.
Apparently.
He says, cool. Yeah. We staying long, or like you here for a while, or what's going on?
Not sure yet.
Yep.
He says, cool.
May have
Yeah, we're
something to
more
do
of a
with-
kind of go with the flow party, so we'll see.
He says, hey man, that river out there's got a pretty good flow to it. Just saying.
I know. I like the river.
Yeah. All right, cool. You know what? Hey, you guys want a drink?
Yes.
Thought you'd never ask.
He's
Sure.
like, cool, man. Come have a seat with me. Drinks first round's on me.
You
Woo!
mean
Party time.
all the rounds are on Westbrook.
That's what he said.
He says, "Oh man," and then the butler dude, the Prinny, he's like, "Oh, dude, I don't know about that. You know, I'll be right back. You guys hang tight, and I'll confer that with Westbrook." And he's like waddles off. So while you're in there, so you sit down with Jasper and the other people you notice in the room. Off in a corner, there's a dark elf sitting by herself. Roll discern realities for Mist, Melody, and Gray, and
Oh.
Fiamma, maybe?
Yeah.
I kind of see. I kind of know.
10.
Gray, you don't know crap.
Who dat?
Who dat? Yeah, so the 7 to 9s, you're like, oh man,
She looks so familiar.
I remember that dark elf from like when we did a raid on a gnome cave. Fiamma, you recognize that it is Valencia, who is the mother of Kit, who was the woman you guys saved when you were like raiding the gnome base. Well, not the gnome base, but the gnome cave outside of Kirmaru's.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to the table and say, hey, Val.
She says, do I know you?
Yeah, we saved your ass.
Oh.
She
Yeah,
drugged.
okay. Maybe.
She's not a dark elf. She's a high elf.
She says, have you seen my daughter, Kit?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
God.
hanging out with Kat.
Oh. Okay. She said she'd come and pick me up when she was done, and that's been a while ago, I guess. Her and that other fellow, what was his name? Wild Fart or something? I don't remember.
I think you're thinking of Hot Pants.
Maybe.
I'll be right
But
back.
anyways, they were doing something. And I don't remember anymore. Oh well. Who are you?
Man, she fucked up.
I'm your daughter.
Oh, Kit. Oh, thank God you came back. It's been so
Yeah,
lonely
listen, I
without
gotta go
you.
out for a pack of smokes, so I'll be back later. And I
You
leave.
don't smoke anymore.
Start it back. I'm gonna walk
Oh,
away.
how unfortunate. You're such a beautiful girl. The smokes are gonna ruin that. As you walk off. Also, at another table, sitting by herself, is a dwarf, female dwarf, and she's pretty well kept. Like her clothes are nice, her beard is glorious and well braided, and she definitely doesn't. She's not poor by any means. So, but she's just sitting over there on her own. Does anyone approach her?
Sure, I'll approach her.
Okay.
Hey, baby,
Um,
how are you doing? Can I buy some mud wine for you?
So as you get closer, let me get you to roll a discern realities, Gottrin.
On which one?
On your wisdom.
I don't use that very often. Oh yeah, baby. Pick
Yeah,
up
you
notes.
don't recognize her in the slightest. Yeah. So when you walk up to her, she's like, "Beg your pardon? How dare you speak to me like that? Don't you know who I am?"
Don't you know who I am?
She says, "I haven't the slightest."
Well, that's your problem, not mine.
She says, "I am the Princess Delphi. I am the second born princess of the King of the Dwarven Kingdoms. How dare you speak to me as though I was some commoner?"
You're in a Combrin Tavern. You're a commoner tonight.
She says, "I am here at my own behest. Westbrook has promised me to deliver that what I seek."
I'm right here.
That was good.
She says, "You would be the last thing that I would seek. My heart does not desire you. Be gone
Who
with
said
you."
anything about a heart?
And she just
don't know what
waves
you're
her
missing.
hand and turns her nose and looks the other direction.
Oh, okay. So now I see what's going on. All right.
I walk around to the other direction and sit down right in front of her face. Like as close as possible as you can to make it awkward.
She says, "Please, could you go sit somewhere else?
I am somewhere else.
Away from me."
Sorry.
She says, "Fine then," and then she stands up and proceeds to move to a different table.
Under his mask, Clancy's gonna transform his face.
Okay.
Cool, with a 4.
It looks like a hot mess.
Cool.
It looks like
No.
have you seen the Goonies?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Then you know what it
Perfect.
looks like.
I'm gonna go sit down across from her at her new table.
She says, "God, I haven't the time to suffer fools. Please, leave me alone."
I'm gonna take my globe off and just go, "Baby Ruth!"
She goes,
Go what?
She goes, "Oh my, you are detestable, aren't you? No wonder you wear that helmet. You should definitely put it back on."
And then I'm gonna climb onto the table.
Oh my god. This poor
Uh,
woman.
She immediately stands up. She says, "What are you doing?"
Dancing.
She says, "I am
Just
not in the
start dancing.
mood for your adventurous gyrations or whatever it is you people are into." And then she starts walking to another table to sit down.
Oh god.
Put my mask back on and transform my face.
All right. So by this time, the Prinny comes back, and Prinny's like, he's like, "Dude," he says, "Westbrook says drinks are on him." So
Yeah, I knew it.
He'd already said that, but yeah. I mean, I'm
Just cheer. Yeah, start drinking.
he says, "Yeah, man, I'll get you whatever you want." And he gets his flippers and somehow manages to grab glasses and mix drinks with flippers. It's actually kind of astounding because he doesn't have opposable thumbs or fingers.
Yeah, I was
even.
going to say, I'm staring just astounded.
Yeah, it's
yeah, it's pretty cool.
you ever see the show The Powerpuff Girls?
Yes.
Yes, where
You know,
they, don't have
they
no
sort of
fucking
just-
fingers and they just grab
Yeah.
stuff.
Right, it's a lot like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's almost like magic for sure. So yeah, he whips drinks up real quick and quickly waddles and passes them out to everyone. And he's like, "Enjoy, dudes."
Mazel tov.
Yeah.
And I poured in my head.
He says, "Tazzle Mav to you, dude." Yeah, and he walls back behind the bar.
Oh God, how drunk do I get?
Yeah, I mean, roll defy danger on your constitution, I suppose.
Oh, when this happens, things happen. Okay, I'm all right.
Yeah, you're just moderately drunk for sure. But
Cool.
so Jasper's
For the
definitely
fir-
talking you. Jasper's talking you up. Jasper's like, he's like, so Melody, man, you doing okay? Doing all right?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I mean, trade business has been a little slow lately. What with the borders being closed and all, and I was heading back to Macrotier, to do some business as I normally do, and found out the borders were closed, and so I thought I'd hit up my old friend Westbrook. He had a place here, so got here, and his staff let me in so that I could stay. So here I am.
That's pretty cool. What are your plans going forward?
He says, I got no clue. I guess now's a good time for me to build up some inventory since I can't go back and trade where I normally would, and folks around here don't take too kindly to orcs, I guess. Minotaurs, they think orcs are a threat. They don't like anything that's as big as they are.
That's not right.
I mean, Minotaurs ain't right. He says, hey, like, is your group pretty capable?
Capable of damage? like, capable of what?
Procuring goods, yeah?
Probably. I mean,
He says,
Maybe not requested goods. What goods?
yeah.
He says, I got, there's definitely some stuff in the area that I could probably benefit from, but like, I'm not much of a hunter-gatherer sort. I'm more of a, sell stuffs kind of guy. So maybe I could hire you guys to do some procuring for me.
Well, yeah,
Sounds
we can
fun.
definitely talk to the group. Yeah.
He says, cool, we'll talk later
Might as
for
well.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as they're serving the drinks and stuff, Prinny walks up to Gray, and he says, "Hey, big guy, dude."
Yo,
He says, "So what's your deal? What are you good at?"
everything.
He's, "Oh yeah, cool. So you good at lifting barrels?"
Oh no.
Sure.
He says, "Do you want to make some money?"
Shifty little penguin.
What are you trying to get me to do?
He says, "Look, dude, we got like a shipment of like ale in, and they're in all these barrels, and then some guns are heavy, dude. And I'm not very big. And
How many
Well-
barrels?
It's 250 barrels. I don't know why Westbrook ordered so much ale, but anyways, they're out back, and I need to get them into the storehouse."
And how much are you trying to pay me?
Let's
You're
see.
broke, aren't you? Mhm.
Westbrook pays me 1 gold a month, and let's see.
No, just look. I keep 3 barrels.
Yeah, dude, I could probably like write those off on the transcript. I'm sure no one will notice.
Okay, sure.
Cool. He says, "Yeah, come this way, dude." And we
Sweet.
got back, and literally there's like barrels stacked upon barrels, behind the building. And he's like, "We got like a wheelbarrow. Think you could use that?"
I mean, I could, but
Cool, dude. Yeah, it's right over here, and it's like this, like, sort of like rickety, like, you know, partially rusted wheelbarrow.
oh, this looks terrible.
Wow. Get him a new
He's like-
wheelbarrow.
So, yeah, Westbrook says you should do it by hand. It builds strength, but if I'm
should
being
probably
honest,
do
dude,
What an
like-
asshole.
you know, I mean, look at me. I'm not very big.
Oh,
And he
I kind of
says,
feel bad for the fucking penguin.
cool, dude. So yeah, if you just want to load those into the storehouse around the bend, that'd be great. So you start doing it? Yay, nay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
So while you guys are in there, you've been in there for a little while, and starting to get more towards the evening, and Westbrook pops in, and he's like, yes, hello everyone. Sorry for my absence. I've been busy, but I'm free now. And he walks over towards Delphi, the dwarven princess, and he says, Delphi is everything to your liking. And she says, it's fine. Look, are you going to deliver what you promised or not? And he says, of course I will. Yes, everything is going to plan, and I understand the heart wants what the heart wants. And your prince will be delivered to you as soon as I am able. He says, I'm working on a plan for that now. And she says, well, you better. And then just like goes back to what she's doing. And he says, Jasper, my boy, how's it going? And Jasper is like, Westbrook, what's up, man? And he says, Westbrook comes back and he's like, oh, I see you've made friends with my other guests. I believe you know some of them. And he's like, yeah, I do, man. And he sort of like raises his glass and he says, kind of looks at you guys, and he says, they're a fine bunch, you know. And you can see he's like motioning for a cheers. Does anyone meet him?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure is.
Cool. He says, where's Master Grey gone? And the Prinny behind the bar is like, he's like, oh, I think I do went to the bathroom. And he's like, oh, okay, yes, excellent. And he says, well, how's everyone finding the accommodations then?
It's good.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Oh, spectacular. Yeah. Listen, Clancy,
Yup.
perhaps you could lend me some magical assistance.
Can do.
It is
I
great.
hop up and walk over.
Would you follow me to my workshop then?
Yep. So I'm gonna
let's-
be a little concerned if this is a sex thing.
Do you say that, or is that just what you're thinking?
Oh, I said.
He says, "Oh heavens, no! Yes, I'm not into the sex so much, so you don't have to worry about that.
Neat. Let's go.
Let's go! Yes, I love the enthusiasm." And so he says, "Does anyone need anything before I leave?"
No.
And as you're sitting there, this sort of like giant crow man enters the room and walks up to Westbrook and like sort of motions at him, and Westbrook like leans in and he sort of like whispers in his ear. And he says, "Oh heavens! Oh, well then, I guess you'll need to deal with it in the normal fashion then." And the crow like nods and like leaves the room. And he says, "All right, Clancy, shall we be on our way?"
Indeed.
Yeah,
And while
and
we're
then
walking, I'm gonna telepathically ask him what that was all about.
He says, yes, well, there are some guards at the gate, inquiring about a search, and, well, they'll be dealt with."
Let me know if they have any good stuff.
Probably not. They always have the most drab of items.
Losers.
He
Yeah.
says the military always supplies substandard materials, in my opinion.
I also take personal knickknacks. You know, a picture of a wife, whatever.
He says, well, perhaps you could ask Carl if he would share with you. He looks like a crow, but he's more like a magpie. He definitely he collects all the shiny things.
He likes shinies?
Me and him are gonna have a good time together.
He doesn't talk a lot out loud anyways. He's a very private person, Carl.
All right.
And you guys are walking away.
Trade. Bird.
So, meanwhile, you guys in there, you've been drinking for a while, and the princess is gotten like quite drunk, and so she walks over and she sits down beside Mist, and she says, "So, what's your deal?"
I'm drinking. What's yours?
She says, "Well, I'm terribly bored and I'm looking for some entertainment. Why do you wear such dark clothing?"
Because I'm mysterious and I do like the finger thing. Ooh.
He says, "I'm sure you think you are."
Ooh, ooh.
She says, "Tell me a story, a good one."
Oh my god.
Ha! I'm thirsty and I take a drink.
She says, "Well, you're just boring, aren't you?"
I am.
She says,
And then I point at Gotcha and I'm like, but that guy is not boring.
"That crude dwarf."
He's hilarious.
She says, "I've already had an interaction with him, and he's just awful. He had no good stories." And she looks over at Melody and she says, "You, elf, what's your deal?"
Let's see if I have a good story. I have an excellent story.
What story do you
It
tell?
is amazing.
About what?
Trying to think. I tell her the story of Skelly.
She says,
She probably
"Marvelous."
thinks it's made up, but yeah.
She says, "So this is a love story?"
No. I mean, unless someone wanting to kill you is a love story.
She says, "Well, sometimes you're at odds with the person you're in love with." She says, "I myself have a bit of a love secret, if you will. A bit of a forbidden romance. Oh, but I shouldn't say more."
I make a joke. I pull the other skull out of my bag and go, "This guy didn't work out so well either."
She says, "Oh, why do you carry such a dreadful thing around?"
Memories.
Seems more like nightmares to me.
Same diff.
And what about you? And she gestures at Fiamma and she says, "What do you know of love?"
I know many a thing. But why don't you tell me about yours? And I'm gonna tempt her with my inner fire.
All right. It's like a roll for that or something.
Yeah. On a 10 plus, their will is suppressed, and they do as I desire. And 7 to 9, the effect is only strong enough to distract or confuse them.
She says, well, I've fallen in love with someone I shouldn't. Especially now, given the state of things. But, I shouldn't even speak about it. Yes, no, it's...
You tell, is it at least a minotaur? You know they're very
She blushes and she says, "Oh, heavens, why would you say such a thing?"
Oh, you girl. Be prepared. You're gonna need a harness and a saddle. No.
Oh my god.
I'm started giving her Minotaur love tips.
She says, "Oh, I've heard the stories, but what would I care about that?" And she looks off, like, to the corner of her eyes into the distance.
Oh, she got it bad.
You're gonna want to buy a crop.
Uh,
You're gonna need at least 3 to 5 acres of pasture for him to live comfortably.
She's gonna need 3 to 4 days.
And
to
bareback
recover.
may not mean what you think it means.
yeah, we prefer buffalo back, all right? No bear. They call that cowback. I don't know. Anyways, meanwhile, cutting over to where Clancy and cutting over to where Gray is. Gray, you've finished loading the 247 barrels into the storehouse, and you're down to the 3 left that are yours. Where do you put them? You just put them in the cart, or?
I put them in the cart.
Cool. Do you inspect them in any way, or you just toss them in there?
I'll look at them to make sure they're good.
Cool. Roll discern realities.
Uh-oh.
All right. So when you open the barrel to give it a whiff or a look or whatever, it doesn't seem like ale. You can't quite place what it is, but not ale.
Taste it.
Oh no. Taste the poison. Were we drugged when we drank all this?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh shit. You'd think I'd learn by now.
I asked the printing, what is this? I like ale.
He's back in the at the bar. So right now it's just you and the cart and the barrels. Your 3 barrels. I mean, if you want to go back to the inn and ask him, you can.
Yeah, I'll go back to the inn and ask.
All right, cool. Yeah, you walk into the inn and people are like, chatting or whatever. And Prinny's behind the bar and he's like mixing up drinks. So you approach him then.
Yes.
And so and you ask. He says, "Dude, it's ale. What else would it be?"
It's no ale that I've ever smelled.
He says, "Look, man, I don't know. Like the Westbrook ordered 250 barrels of it, and there it is. I mean, I don't know why we need 250 barrels of ale. It seems like an overkill. I mean, we get like a handful of guests a month."
It's napalm. Oh, sorry.
It was a liquid.
Yeah. It was
In
liquid.
fact, okay.
Yeah.
We'll just keep it in there then. We'll figure out what it is.
All right. So cutting over to where Clancy and Westbrook is. So Clancy, when Westbrook enters into the shop with you, there's just sort of like all kinds of things going on. There's sort of mechanical looking things. There's a lot of beakers and vials all over the place. There's lots of stuff. And he says, "All right, well, we're going to go to the 2nd level." And so he leads you upstairs. Do you have any questions as he's walking by everything?
Do we see anything to
No, it's just
ask
Clancy.
questions about?
It's just Clancy.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Since I can sense magic around me now that I control all the magics, do I sense magical stuff too?
It's everywhere.
Neat. I'll be like, so what are all these magical mechanical items?
He says, "Oh, these are all my experiments. Yes, I'm very fascinated by all kinds of things. You can see some of these. Some of these are of gnomish technology. The gnomes have done quite an excellent job of fusing science and magic together. And so I've acquired a few items and just testing them out and seeing what they do." He says,
Astoundingly remarkable.
He says, "Yes, I believe they've configured some sort of magical suit of armor. And so I have a few pieces. I don't have a full set, but there's an arm piece from one over there, yes. And over here, there's one of the magical cores they use to power one. It seems mostly drained, but there's still a little bit of life left in it. So yes, I'm just testing and seeing how it all works. I'm very fascinated by new innovation."
It is quite fascinating.
He says, "But fascinating still, what I need your help with. If you'll join me into the 2nd level." So you get up there, and as soon as he leads you into the room. It's as though you can't feel any magic outside of the room. As soon as you walk in.
So what kind of barrier is this?
He says, "Oh yes. Well, I've imbued the walls with sort of magic and dampening material. It helps keep magic from getting in and getting out, I'm afraid. You can perform magic within the room, but if anything were to go awry, it won't go past the room, and consequently, nothing inside the room will be affected by outside sources."
Would it be possible to buy the formula for this from you? I have quite a few interesting uses to try.
He says, it is a bit of a trade secret, you see. I developed it myself. But perhaps if we are
Would be able to
successful...
pay you to build it.
He says, I have no need for money, I'm afraid. However, if we are successful in our endeavors here in this room, perhaps I could be persuaded to part with the technology.
Lovely. Lovely. Partners in crime it is. Let's go.
He says, oh, great. He says, now, in addition to that, if I am to give you this technology, there are a few rules and guidelines I would hope you could abide by.
Of course, of course. This is a business built on mutual trust.
Yes. The first is I would have you sign a contract when I impart you with the knowledge that would prevent you from sharing the knowledge with anyone else.
Accepted.
And secondly, if I were to give you this knowledge, would you be willing to concede to have your memory wiped of any new things we develop in this room?
Would it be possible instead to sign a magical contract stating that I will not speak of or use any technology based that we find in this room?
I would find that most acceptable.
Wonderful, wonderful. See, I'm also in the pursuit of knowledge myself. This
Spectacular.
could help me develop some things too.
He says, well then, I want to show you something a little peculiar. He says, I went back to the mansion, you see, and because I heard there were sort of mirrors that could teleport, I went up and had a look around after everyone had left, and I managed to procure some of the what you might call the mirror liquid.
Ooh, remarkable.
And I feel as though through experimentation that I could harness the portal technology to go wherever I desire.
Ho, ho, ho. That would save you on travel time.
It most certainly would. It would make my life insanely easier. I think now might be the time for that contract, actually. And so,
All right, sounds good.
He whips out a sort of his little bag that he's got. He pulls out some parchment and a pen, and he just sort of like waves the pen over it, and a contract forms. Basically, the contract says that you cannot perform or speak of anything you've learned in this room to anyone outside of this room.
Very well. I'll sign the
And he gives it
contract.
to you. And he says, I'm afraid it must be signed in blood, I'm afraid. If you will just take this quill, and prick your finger and then sign, that would be most acceptable.
I'm gonna stab it through my hand.
Okay.
That's Clancy style, baby.
And you
And
sign?
then just drip the blood over it.
Yep. And you feel a slight tingling sensation, and then it's over. And he says, most excellent. Yes. Then I feel free to tell you now, you will see this bag where I'm storing many things.
Indeed.
He says, I actually created it using some of the mirror material.
Remarkable.
See, I took some hide and I painted the hide with some of the mirror material, and then painstakingly used enchants to create a sort of a pocket dimension with which I can store my things.
That is quite a wonderful piece you've created.
Yes. And it seems to work a little differently from other bags of holding. It seems as though this place that everything goes exists in a plane outside of this world, even.
Oh.
It's quite remarkable. So, anyways, I've procured a frame for a mirror and a backing, and I think we're going to do sort of the same thing. Paint on the mirror, goo or whatever it is, and then I have items from the Minotaur Nation. This will be my first experiment, and I think I can use those items to link this mirror to a location within the Minotaur Nation itself.
That would be quite remarkable. We'll have to give this a shot. I know previously when I went in a mirror, it sent me into the ocean.
Yes. It seems as though the mirrors spit you out at a location, and then if you fully exit, perhaps they close behind you. It's hard to tell. I did manage I took a friend with me, and I tossed them through a mirror, and they never returned, I'm afraid.
Well, they're probably bait for something.
I don't know where the mirror went to. I didn't go through it myself. I was, as a point of curiosity, I was concerned that the mirror might have vaporized a person. So.
It's an understandable fear. What if it dropped you directly on the sun?
And so then he gets out like a sort of like charcoal or whatever and starts writing on the walls theories and equations, and starts debating with you over like magical properties, and you two sort of get to the business of designing this portal.
Remarkable.
Yep. So meanwhile, back in the inn, it's getting late, and the maid walks in, Melina. She's, hello, everyone. Would anyone care to retire to their rooms? I've got everything ready for you. Westbrook has given me a small rundown of creature occurrence that you might enjoy, and so I have outfitted everyone's room with what he feels would make you most comfortable.
Let's see how wrong he got this.
Yep. So do you indicate that you're ready to retire for the evening, Melody?
Sure.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, well, I will take you up first then. And she leads you to the other building where all the sort of rooms are. You walk into a room, and it's sort of the room is done up sort of in like silks, in satins, and there's a harp in the corner, and there's a spread of like chocolates, and then also a small selection of books, mostly on lore and ancient histories. Do you find this to your liking, madam?
Yeah, I actually do.
She goes, oh, excellent, good. All right, I was concerned. But I'm glad you like it. I hope you have a great evening.
Thank you, you too.
And then she returns back to the inn. She says, is anyone else interested in retiring for the evening?
Fiamma will agree.
Yeah. Also, Gray, do you mention to anyone about the ale that is not ale?
Sure.
Who would you tell?
Probably missed.
All right. I find it very fascinating.
Cool. Do you approach anyone or anything about it, or you just let the information lie? Or do you go inspect the barrel by any chance?
Sure, I'll go inspect the barrel.
All right. Yeah. So you as you're walking out, Melina is leading Fiamma out. She says, "Oh, sir, is there anything that you need?"
For me?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'll be back to collect more people later. All right. And she leads Fiamma up, and she says, how do you get your hair to be that color? To Fiamma.
I light it on fire.
Oh heavens, you're on fire! Let me put you out. Oh no! And she pulls the apron. She goes to throw her apron over your head. You let her do it.
I'm gonna light a fire on my head.
So her apron catches on fire, and she's trying to put out the fire on your head. She's like, "Oh no!"
I let her try for a minute until she stops, and I'm still on fire, just standing in front of her.
She's like,
It's okay.
She goes to run. Like, I'll get some help. And she goes to run down the stairs. You stop her.
Aww.
No, I'm just gonna head towards where the building is.
So you're the inn is in this building. Oh no, it's going crazy. So the inn is in this building, but then the bed and breakfast is over here. So she's basically just led you from one building to the next. They're connected.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk into the bed and breakfast.
So she runs away where you guys are, Gray and Godwin. She runs and she's heavens, the lady is on fire. We need water or something. And so the bartender's like, dude, let me get you a bucket. And he gets a bucket and puts water and hands it to her. And she goes running back out of the room. So while that's going on, Mist, you're outside and you're walking towards where the cart is. When you get to the cart and the barrels are in there, you open one up and roll a discern realities on that on your wisdom.
I even used my fucking wisdom ring and it didn't work. Jeez.
Yeah, you're like, it smells like ale to me.
Yep, and I just walk off.
Yeah. Fiamma upstairs, the lady comes running up with the bucket, and she throws it at you, the water.
Refreshing.
And it splashes on you, and I assume it keeps burning.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, that didn't work. Oh, please come with me. She grabs your hand to pull you.
I'll be like, hold on, watch this, and then I'm gonna let the fire stop.
She's, oh, my heart, be still, my heart. Oh, are you okay, madam?
Well, it requires 15% luck, 10% skill.
Are you burned? Do you need medical treatment?
Not any that you can provide.
Oh my.
Y'all have a therapist here?
She's I guess Joseph, the groundskeeper, he's quite a good listener.
Oh my gosh.
That's sweet. Just leave me to my room.
Yeah.
Okay. So she leads you to the room, and when you get to the room, there's the entire wall is just lined with torches, and the bed is just wrought iron, with a very thin mat on it, and there's metalworking tools also in the room. I hope this is to your liking. Master Westbrook said you would like this. I wasn't sure.
Nah, this is pretty alright.
He says, okay, well, if it is to your liking, then I'll leave you to it then.
Yeah, I light the mattress on fire and lay down.
He says, okay. She walks out. She says,
When I lay down for the night, I'm going to commune with my God.
You hear outside the door as she's walking away, and she says, what an odd assortment of people Westbrookers brought to us today. And she leaves, and she gets back to the room, and she says, and you, sir, talking to Gray, would you care to retire to your room this evening?
Yes.
It's just a room full of meat
And
and a dog bed.
So she leads you back to your room, and as you get up there, you open it, and the room has got like a nice bed with a fur duvet over top of it, and there are some like animal heads mounted in the room, and there is a tray of like meat and jerky off to the side, and there's also a nice grooming set off to the side as well.
Nice.
And she says, "Is this okay, or is there anything else you require?"
No.
Okay. Well then, I will leave you to it. She leaves. And then, so by the time Mist, you come walking in, and Gotrin's in there still, and the Jasper the Orc is like passed out on a table.
That's sad. Does he not get his own room?
He hasn't gone to it yet, I guess.
Okay.
And then Delphi is sort of like chatting with Prinny, the bartender. And as she walks in, and she says, "Oh, you're back from your evening stroll?"
Yep.
Mist? Oh, good. And Gotrin, are you doing well?
Yes.
Would either of you like to retire for the evening?
Sure.
She says, and you, Gotrin, how about you?
Why not?
She says, follow me. And she leads you both to your room. And she says, Gotrin, your room is first. And she leads you, opens the door, and the floor is just covered in dirt. And there's a lot of like sort of like stonework in the room, and it's sort of fairly dim. There's just like one like lit lantern in the middle, just like one lantern light, and it's pretty low level light. And there's a bottle of wine and a bucket of mud sitting beside it. And she says, is this, do you find this amenable then?
It works for me. The more mud, the better.
She says, oh, fantastic, good. Yes, then we will see you in the morning then. Have a good evening.
See you in the morning.
Yep. And then, Miss, she leads you to your room, and when the door opens, it just leads into blackness. Like it's as pitch dark as it can be in that room.
Sweet. I literally walk into it.
Yep. Yeah. When you walk in, do you light any lights of all of any kind?
No, if you remember back when I described my character, I said he could see in the dark, so
Yeah.
not worried.
Yeah. So even if the room is really dark, it's filled with like there's like the fluffiest bed in the world, and there's a tray of meat off to the side, and
Complimentary meat trays for everybody.
there's also a sharpening stone, like the kind with a wheel, like a wheel and a pedal, for sharpening like blades and things off to the side.
Sweet.
Yeah. Do you partake of the meat?
I lay down on the super soft bed.
Okay. And she says, okay, well, she says, if you're good, then I'll let you be.
Yep.
Yeah, and then she leaves. And that's pretty much where we're gonna leave off. You guys are all retired to bed, except for Clancy, who is doing the magics with Westbrook. And we'll pick up next week with what happens in the morning, I suppose.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for playing.
All right.
Good one.
Very fun. Very fun.
It was fun.
Catch you next week.
All right.
Catch you next
Bye.
week.
Later.